I decided to go on my own, and I said to Matt, I says, Matt, do I fancy it? And he just went, yeah. At the beginning, it was just me and Matt wandering around in a little banged out van just painting. Then we went into disrepair, so finding out where the mould came from. It does actually save lives because there's children sleeping with walls of black. We did have some that signed documents, steel. Our number one core value is don't be a with nice people.
That has got to be the title. Don't be a with Gavin Sped. If only you lived by that mantra. This is the first episode of the Business Diaries on the Road series, and I'm interviewing Gavin Asperger from GME Painting and Contractors. It's fantastic that Gavin is our first interviewee on this panel, because Gavin was probably the first client of Northern Accountants to really invest in his numbers. I'm so excited to relive the stories that we've done, because I actually genuinely believe the things that Gav has achieved and the support we've been able to do will probably sit there with some of the greatest personal achievements I'll have in my accounting career.
We're GME Group now, which used to be GME Painting Contractors. It's taken a lot to get to where we are now.
Yeah.
Moving from just a standalone painting contractor working for interior fit out companies now to being a multi-skilled company that's got a few different arms to the business, which are painting contractors. So we're still doing the main contractor work, the building works, they're working for an interiors company. But alongside that, we've got really into the damp and mold sectors. So by accident, a few years ago, we started working on the mould tenders, and it wasn't as big back then. And then obviously there was a massive
media
outcry with the Arabs law. This is the young boy that died, and since that happened, the influx of work that came off of that contract just set as a light. Yeah. And then what we did is researched and grew and worked out how we could help all these people to get the mould out of the properties. And then we've branched out, and it's turned into a massive part of the business. So that's a mould sector, eradicating mould in social housing. And then off the back of that, then we went into disrepair. So finding out where the mould came from. Yeah. So leaking gutters, damp problems, leaks in the building and everything. And then we was introduced ourselves to council and said, look, how can we help with this? So we're now in the disrepair sector of the council. We're trying to get to the root of the cause to stop the mould actually happening, which is kind of putting us out of work.
But you're getting the work at the front.
We're getting the work at the front.
Prevention's better than the cure.
Yeah, and he's actually saving lives, which is obviously the money and the jobs and everything that it brings is great. But top and tail of it is it's to wake up and know that it does actually save lives, because some of their properties you go into are really, there's children sleeping with walls of black, the black at the back of them. And that, what happened a few years ago could easily happen again if we weren't stopped. So
that's the affairs. I mean, that's some evolution from when we first met. And I was trying to think of this before I came here. When that first was that in 2011, 2012?
Yeah, 2010 to 2011.
Is that when it was? Yeah, so that's some evolution, but we'll come on to that sort of evolution there. But tell me about how the business started, because it didn't start as this GME group. It's evolved into this. So tell me how it started, because I love this stuff.
So it started off with the company that I worked at. I wasn't really happy where I was, not earning the money that I wanted to work. And I decided to go on my own, and I said to Matt, I says, Matt, do I fancy it? And he just went, yeah.
Matt does, because anybody who's met Matt knows he's the most super chilled out guy in the world, which I guess he is to be working with you.
Yeah, well, it do work well, because I'm a bit of a hothead.
Yeah.
And he's
calm. He's the guy wanting
the amount of times at 5 o'clock in the evening I've spent from here to home shouting down phone at him. And then he just goes, "Are you done?" And then put the phone down on it. It's pretty good. So yeah, so we went on his own. We had one job, which was a hair salon. We got it finished in 3 days.
And that'll work.
I just looked at him and went, shit, we haven't got no else on. I'll give it a big shout out. So we went and had some discussions with other main contractors, But we went and talked to Vinny Care Interiors, client of yours, he's Vinny. And we had a big discussion with him about work and everything. And he says, look, I'll help you out, guys. Well, you come and do some work for us. We shot to Scotland, did 5 weeks in Scotland working, and then from then on, we've just got working and more working and more working, growing the team, growing everything. We won't doing the best. And then once we started, and then it evolved into the numbers and looking at profit and losses and tracking things. And that's when it evolved a little bit later. But at the beginning, it was just me and Matt Bundy and had in a little banged out van just painting.
And it was a banged out van, I remember you telling me about it, yeah.
Little Renault.
But so before we get into the sort of the number side of things and things like that, sort of every business has something that makes them stand out in some way or another. And clearly you guys had something like that in the early days, because you obviously attracted new work. I know you got some support of Vince and things like that, but that wasn't the be all and end all. There's other things. What do you think made GME Painting Contractors, as it was then, stand out in the sort of, in a, I would suspect, a highly competitive market, especially, and price sensitive market as well?
I've always believed it's all about reacting the right way to people. So back in the day, I've got rules that the guys, the team follow now, and the rules I set myself back in the day. It's once always talk to your client. If there's ever something wrong, just tell them. Tell them it's wrong, and tell them how you're going to sort it out.
And what it's going to cost.
And not
it's going to cost.
If it's going to cost anything, but if you've made a balls up, just put your hands up in the air and say, I've made a balls up. Simple as that. That's a big thing. Always react, really focus on react. If something goes wrong, react on it. But if it goes right, make sure you let people know that it's gone right as well, which is a massive thing. And then building relationships. Yeah. Just building relationships with people. You know, you might want to do this out, but our number one core value is don't be with nice people.
We might have to edit that bit out.
So we have got some core values on the website. They're going on the website, but my core value number one is don't be and we're nice people. Talk to everybody. Be transparent, you know, and jump on everything first time. You know, if everything needs doing, you just jump on it. So.
Yeah, no, you do it.
Don't be
That has got to be the title for this thing, eh? Don't be with Gavin Sped. If only you lived by that mantra.
No, sometimes, yeah.
So what do you think keeps clients coming back to you then?
But truthfully, I think that the team upstairs they're fantastic. They've been a massive, and the team's only grown in the last, say, 4 or 5 years, and over the last 2 or 3 years, it's grown massively. But the team upstairs, they're all driving in the same direction. We have bi-weekly meetings, which everybody gets together and they put input and get what they think we could do. At every single meeting, there's somebody out of that team that's got a little bit of an input that tells us how I want to drive the company, how we can make clients happier, how we can make us lads happier, because you need your workforce to be happy as well as you want your clients to be happy. Everybody's got to be. For us, it's wins. It's always, we've got to win as a company. The clients have got to win as a client and get what they want. But the lads that are actually doing the job, they've got to win as well. So if everybody's happy in that triangle, massive on the triangle thing, it works for them all. And the team follow that ethos of the triangle, make sure everybody's happy, because that means there's no. And then, and then we can move forward, and the clients love it.
Yeah.
You know, so.
Yeah. So one of the things you've been able to do really successfully, especially in recent years, is scale. And scale is something I'm quite passionate about, and things that I feel people struggle with. Because for me, business growth is quite easy. It's easy to promise the world and bring work in and compete on price and all those sort of things, thinking you'll buy your way out of problems, but it really never really works that way. So to scale, you have to put things in place that allow you to bring work in, but it's still to be managed efficiently, to make sure they keep running the margins. What have you done in particular that's allowed you to scale your business?
So we started off we had a 5-year plan of where we wanted to do. So it's a structured 5-year plan. This is what we want to do in year 1, year 2, year 3. We broke it down into year plans and said, look, this is what we want to achieve by the year 1, year 2. We've always surpassed it and got better than it. So we're probably a year in front of where we wanted to be right now. But then you share it out of there. We break it down to a 90-day plan then. So when it goes into a 90-day plan, we take a day out of the business. So Steph and Layla will go to a hotel and keep us and do a 90-day plan all day and focus fully on what we're going to do, which includes, is it financially viable? So I've got the money to be able to expand in this place. And the only way you're going to do that is by tracking and looking at your cash flow and looking at your forward work plan and everything that's going. Forecast budgets and working what it is. And so we'll set everything going like that. And then you've got to, for me, the marketing comes and anybody can expand. All you've got to do is up and pay more for your marketing. Yeah. Whereas if to keep where you want to keep, you've got to keep your numbers in line. Yeah. So what we did is, especially at the beginning of this year, is we've broken the company down into 2 sections. So we're now detailed where we've got a set of accounts for what we call that commercial side of the business and the contract side of the business.
Is that my advice?
Yeah, on your advice. Yeah.
Throw that in.
But it's breaking down right down to net profit, so which one's the most profitable, and then we've gone into different areas. So on the contracting side, it's split down to like contracts as in leadership council contracts, and then the different contracts within that council. And that's getting broken down right down to net as well. So we know exactly where we're making us money, where we need to focus this time, and where we don't want to focus this time. Because there is areas of the business that they're draining, they don't pay on time, so it affects cash flow, and you don't make as much money.
I was thinking about this, and I remember going back to those early days in 2010, 11, what you said, and you did have one huge client at the time, and I can't remember the name, and obviously we can't say it in this area, but they were your biggest client, weren't they? And you made the decision to walk away from that client for those exact reasons, didn't you?
Yeah.
And I know you had many sleepless nights about that. How did you come to settle on that decision? Because it's things we spoke about for, I think we've always spoke about at least 3 to 6 months, about 6 months that it took us to talk when we talked about it. What made you finally settle on that sort of decision? Because that was transformational for you at that point in time.
So there's criteria when you get to site. Before you even get to site, which ones has full discount straight away? Say it's too expensive. Then you get to the next part, you get to site and it's not organised, so there's nothing ready for you. You might have a day's work or half a day's work, which is no good for man, no beast. Then you've got another criteria where you've got throughout the job what the like of it. They do manage the project well, so we scored them on that. And then at the end of it is how much profit did you make off that job? And then we just marked it down, and this particular client marked very, very, very poorly. And he turned around to us, and we turned around and went, they give us most hassle, the most headache, and we're not actually making any money off them. The moment we got rid of that one client, it set a floodgates open, because then we started getting rid of others. But then we started telling the rest of us clients why we're not working for that client no more. We'll stop working for this client because of X, Y, and Z. Said, and you go. And they actually looked into themselves. I don't even want us that's made them look into themselves, but they've gone, so that's what as competitors are doing wrong.
Yeah.
Shall we start doing it? And they are getting more. The clients are getting easier to work for. The sites are running better, and it has changed a lot.
Yeah. So you kind of proved the concepts out then, didn't you? It took, although for us who see this a lot, it was quite obvious, but for you, when you're actually in the numbers, and I've been in the same position. I remember when I had a part-time job when I first started this. I was working somewhere else, and it was 2 days a week. And when I did the analysis of it, it was a case of, well, that 2 days, the amount of money that cost me in lost opportunity and lost costs and lost income far outweighed what I was actually generating. But you've also got the problem of you've still got a mortgage to pay. So it's a really fine balance in that. So it's really brave, I think, to take that sort of step that you did. And that for me was a huge turning point. One of the things you talked about else that was a really, really big turning point. You've mentioned Layla and Steph a couple of times.
Yeah.
And if I rewind just 5 years and I think about the office structure you had back then.
Was there a structure?
There was one person who was literally your right-hand person at that time, and was really and did a good job for a long, long time. But as the business grew, it was clear the needs came, and you made quite a painful decision to change that structure, which meant that this person leaving the business, and you brought in Steph and Layla to support it. So talk to me about what the need, what the process in your mind was to recognize the fact that you needed additional support in areas of maybe not your expertise or areas that you needed to hand off.
Yeah. When I realised with that person and with a few other people as well, I'm very soft. I can shout, I can scream, I can bawl.
A bit of a cuddly bear, really, yeah.
But
we struck you.
Top and tail, yeah. I see each person who works for me as a family, and I can't help being like that. You know, I look at everybody as everybody's got a family, they've got kids to feed and everything. So I'll do my utmost to make sure that everybody keeps going. And I think sometimes it can buy me because I keep people away for a bit too long. I can remember he was turning around to me and saying for a few months they've outgrown the post. They can't do it. It's too much for them. You know, they can't evolve with the company like they wanted to do.
Well, businesses outgrow people just as much as people outgrow businesses, and it's that recognition of that, which I think is really key.
But what it did is it took a massive mistake on their behalf, a really big mistake on their behalf, for us to just go, that's it.
The light bulb moment.
Yeah, and it would just done that, and the decision was made for me. They had to go. This person had to go, and then it was a bit of a scramble. And then I said, right, slow down. And I advice off you, and I've got a business coach. When I do my business coaching with Bill, hire slow. It's always hire slow, fire fast. So what I did is we did a load of research on what we actually needed as a company, and we brought a few in that were a bit carony, that didn't last long with us, and we went on bringing people in with the higher skill set than the company needed. And then they dragged the company into that skill set. Yeah. And then as we've now taken more people and they've all come in with a higher skill set than what they've needed. And they've just been, they had to fit into the company. Yeah. But for instance, Layla and Steph, who are now directors of the business, they came in as admin support business manager. And they've now grown from admin support business manager, and they've moved through the ranks quickly and shown the drive and the passion that they've got. They've made themselves director, and they want to run this company. Full on, they just want to run this company. Layla was there until 9 o'clock last night. Just sat there, she was ringing me at 8 o'clock. Do you know about attendance that we've got? Yeah. Do you know, and they've been in the commercial world, and they've been in the bigger structures, so they brought in systems, which are massive, by the way. The systems and procedures that they brought in, and not just brought in and wrote on a piece of paper. I said, oh, there's your systems. They brought systems in, and this is where I always fell, and made people do them. Yeah. You know,
track the performance.
I brought the KPIs in to make sure that the systems were followed to the T.
Yeah.
And if you didn't follow to the T,
you had them.
You knew about it. Do you know? So
I agree with you.
Yeah.
I
get told off all the time.
Yeah.
But we tracked all the time. We tracked on profitability. We tracked on how many jobs come in, how many complaints you get, how many jobs you get handed over on time, how happy the client is. Everything's tracked. And people, because I know that they're tracked and what is getting watched, the work's so much more efficient.
Yeah. So effectively what you've done is you've recognized the structural failures in the business. You've taken some time out. You've investigated what you actually need long-term of the business rather than just re-recruiting what you had and maybe trying to find somebody with a bit of a greater skill set. You actually looked more holistically about how to take the business forward. You've implemented systems, You've documented those systems, and you now track the performance of those systems.
Yeah.
And they're the fundamental things that you need that are needed to scale a business. And there's the courage behind that as well, in terms of that's a significant bigger investment than you would have been paying initially.
Yes.
So, and it's painful on the cash flow, but that came back from you knew you could afford it, or you knew what you had to do to cover the gap because you had the forward projections and you had that planning. But that's how you scale a business. It's that understanding of what actually it takes to build a business that is capable of becoming a profit generating machine as opposed to a sales generating machine. Two very different things.
And I'm a big believer if you've got a good team, which we have, we've got a fantastic team upstairs and on site as well. The team in it as a whole are really good. But even if your workload shies a little bit, and it peaks and troughs because we've got a mold contract. We've got a couple of mold contracts, and it's been the driest it's been for 10 weeks. I'm not being funny, but when people have got the windows wide open and it's red hot, there's no mold. So obviously the mold side of it's a bit quieter through the summer. But the team's just
merged into another role.
They've merged into a different role. They're doing what it is. They're training to different things and searching for new opportunities. But I'm a big believer in you build a team and then the business grows into the team.
Yeah.
Do you know? And then you build the team again and the business grows into the team. If you've got the team there ready to hit it hard, it will.
Yeah. Well, it's the transformation is quite phenomenal because I do remember you back in 2010, and I know the struggles that you had. I think we were in a mouldy garage was it on the side of my Matt's house? So we started all the paint all stacked up down the side.
We started off at Matt's garage.
That's right.
And I had the back bit where I had orange lights and orange walls because that's the only paint we had. And then we moved to Calder Grove, which were like 2 offices in a little box. You know, like it was just like a garage, just a bigger garage. So we moved from a garage to a bigger garage, but we had a store.
That's right, that's right,
down at Calder Grove, and we outgrew that. Ian came and worked for us as contracts manager.
We did, and
that was a massive turning point when Ian came into it. So Ian is mountain of knowledge. He's worked for a national company for 40 years, do you know, and he's 66 now, I think.
He'll love you saying that live on camera.
I think he's 60 odd year old. And he just turned around to me and said, do you want me to go? Yeah, and I'm like, no. But anyway, I'll stay as long as you want to stay. And I'm like, you can stay if you want. So, but we've got great apprentices. So like Jake came through the ranks from, he started at Iceland and we took him from there. And he's now running contracts on his own. He's pricing, doing tendering, and he's managing a lot of the team upstairs.
Well, I can tell you think highly because you're bringing Joel Griggs now.
Exactly. You've got the 2 apprentices that we've got at the moment now. For 17-year-old kids, a lot of 17-year-old kids, they're not interested about that. No, but we've picked 2 there, and they're just part of the team, and they've brought a mountain of knowledge already because like the technology side of it for kids, they just know so they know so much more than we do. So they're bringing things into us oldies, you know, which is great. So,
but it's great that they've got credibility within an older workforce as well, because often with apprentices, it's the kids are there and this and that, but actually for them to have an impact there, is a testament to them as individuals and what they're able to bring to the organisation.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes,
and it's refreshing to see that they're not doomed to millenniums and the new ones, because a lot of them have been doomed.
You do worry about some of them.
Yeah, and I'm thinking, we've actually got some people.
There's still some good people out there, but not all that. They get a bad rap in a lot of things, I think. They do. So obviously the business has changed massively over the last few years, and it's opened up different doors for you, hasn't it, personally? You know, you now do a lot in the property game. Yeah, tell me how that come about and what you do there and what you've managed to achieve as a result of the success of one business to lead into another successful business.
Yeah, it's always been a passion of mine. So I've always wanted to do it ever since I was 16.
Ever since then, yeah.
Yeah, I've always wanted to get into property. But it gives us the opportunity to, I've never been smart enough to go to university or anything, and I didn't pay all the university fees like everybody else has done, and done all that. I just came through and did what I needed to do. So I decided to pay quite a few thousands of
There's
pounds.
a lot of money for it. I remember reading it in your P&L going, what a bloody hell's that?
Yeah, we paid quite a lot of money for training and educating myself on property so I could do it properly. And then from there, using the knowledge I had from how we run the business and transferred it over to the knowledge of how to buy properties, how to do the properties up at a decent price, and then making sure that they're all making profits and buying them at the right time. So we've got commercial properties, we've got domestic properties now.
Holiday lets?
Yeah, we've got some holiday lets over at East Coast.
Yeah.
But yeah, like this one, this is a recent purchase that we've got.
Yeah.
Do you know which is?
Ben came yesterday. He was amazed. He couldn't quite get over what he'd actually done with the place. He didn't know what he expected, but what he walked into, he didn't expect.
And I don't think anybody expects.
You know, I walked in and I must admit, I thought it was brilliant. You walk in, it's all the glasses set out. The team looks great. The whole office vibe is really good. It's an impressive workspace. And then obviously we're in the downstairs a little bit where you've got a few other bits of areas, your boardrooms and your kitchens and various things like that.
Yeah. We really want to rent this out, this part.
Yeah.
So that's the next stage of the property stuff.
Yeah.
Is the area that we're in now, because we've not really touched it. This area is going to get rented out as serviced offices, or if anybody wants to take it, you know. And we don't really use it much. So I'm a big believer if you've got space, you can get it rented out.
Well, yeah, it can make some money. Well, that's how you did it at the last Carlton House.
GME
House.
The GME house up at High Street.
That's right, yeah.
So we were upstairs and we had 4 tenants downstairs. They were all paying to rent the rooms.
Yeah. And most of all gave our clients as well, so thanks. A great referral results.
The person that's ended up taking it all is the person that used to rent the understairs cupboard.
Okay.
Because he needed to get deliveries. And he said, I've just got nowhere I can get deliveries, you know, because the timings of when he would at work. And
if you rented the cupboard under your stairs and the full building.
50 quid a month. He rented the cupboard under the stairs so he could get deliveries. The deliveries never found that cupboard. They never went in there. But it's gone from that to now his business has obviously grown, so he's taken the full building now.
Wow, I didn't know that.
And you'd expect it to be one of the other companies that were in there that would have probably taken the full building.
Some good companies in there.
There's one that's doing really well.
Yeah, there's a few, yeah.
And you know what's nice to see as well with it, when you're in property, because property is all about people, and even the commercial side of it. In the property side of it, watching them businesses, because everybody that left there, it's because the target market were tradespeople that were on the dining room table doing pricing.
Yeah.
Garage were full of tools and this and over. And then they were just growing that little bit too much to be at home, but they didn't have enough to have their own office.
Yeah.
So they just came and had a little office space in the store.
And locked the door at the night and closed the door.
Exactly. And then the wife's not complaining because there's things all over the place.
Yeah.
But every time they left, it's because they did better. You know, they'd grown, and it was just nice to see. We had about 7 or 8 companies over 5 years over there.
That was it.
That had actually grown and got big and moved on. And
no, lots of guys that have come out of GME House have gone on to do really, really well.
Yeah, they have,
Yeah.
Good.
Fascinating. So obviously it's a Northern Accountants podcast. Yes. So we'll ask for a Northern Accountants plug. Yeah. Obviously we worked extensively over the last 2 years. What is cramp? We got cramp. Brilliant. Just to get me off a bit. My legs gone dead a couple of times. But yeah.
I'm good, hand.
Yeah, but you're just trying to put off because you haven't got anything nice to say about us. Is that?
Yeah, that's going to be definitely.
But yeah, so we've worked with you over the last 10 years or so. And what are the things that you've taken the most from in the things that we've been able to do for you?
Sure, I'll just go back to the beginning, whereas I honestly believe if I would have tried to expand back in the day, and it were all down to him, it would be an eye on it. It would be an eye that started it all off.
Yeah, mate.
And networking is always it's always been a big thing for me, is networking. And we met at BNI and with John and everything.
Yeah.
And I sat down and he just turned around and he went, you need to know your numbers.
Yeah.
And I was like,
what do you mean?
I don't know. And I was finding out my numbers 6 months after being here. And when you started explaining stuff to me, and I was like, I don't have a clue. I thought, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll just listen and just do it. You know, and that we went through easy. the number system that you went through.
The old PMI system.
The old number system that you did buy back to you. I think you tried it. You tested it on me, didn't you?
Yeah, you were a test case, I'm not going to lie. So it was quite a successful one in the end.
Yeah. You tested the numbers. And I was like a bit of a sponge when I was like, man, I'll just do whatever you tell me to do. But when it comes from, then I realised how important the numbers were at the front and the back end, and even in the middle when you. Every time and they laugh about upstairs now because I'm so anal about the numbers got to be right.
No, you laugh about it as well when you ring up and you want to move 47 pence from one nominal code to another. Well, they don't. I laugh. They don't. I love this 47 pence. Well, it's where it should be.
It's got to be right, hasn't it?
They taught you well.
The top of the tail of it is the numbers have got to be right because. And I in fact, I had Ethan in over there, and they were a bit late on getting the labour onto job costs, and then I did an job cost evaluation. On a couple of jobs I was doing. I'm like, I'm making decisions off of this. And I brought him in. He's an apprentice, so he's learning. And I brought him in and I said, do you know how important the numbers are? I said, and this is what we've learned through the working on the numbers with you. You can't make a decision if they're wrong. Do you know?
Yeah.
And they've got to be right. One of the reasons why we've gone from having his own bookkeeper in-house and doing as all his books ourselves to now outsourcing everything to you is because I know that when we give them to you, they're going to be right and they're going to come back to us and they're going to be perfect.
So you can
how I can make the decisions. Whereas in that case with the job costings, it was 1,500 quid out and I was going to make a decision on giving some more money to lads or whatever it was with a 15.
Which is what used to happen a lot.
Yeah, which is a £1,500 like anomaly. Whether it be plus or minus, it's £1,500. My decision wasn't right for that. So,
and that's just one example.
And it happens a lot.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
So you coming in with the numbers and making sure that our management accounts are right, making sure that the projections and budgets are right. The amount of times I've been backwards and forwards with Sally.
Yeah.
With the budgets.
She told me.
Getting the budgets and the forecasting and just getting them.
Yeah, if you don't understand what you're trying to achieve, then how can you work out if you actually delivering against those things? You know, if what you set a reasonable expectations and you don't deliver on it, why aren't you delivering it? How do you go in? What do you understand? Were your expectations wrong? Or is actually there's something fundamentally wrong in what you're doing?
Then you've got to look on the other end as well. You've got to look at, and I think we've been doing that a lot especially at the beginning of this year, is when you're doing some good, you know, when everything's going right and when that sector's doing good, that sector's doing good, this sector's doing good, they're all making more money than you put into your budget. What are you doing? Right.
What's the good?
Where does it, we always delve into the bad stuff?
Yeah.
Why don't you delve into the good stuff and just go, so what are we doing so right to make this happen and there's consistently for 4 months?
Yeah.
We must be doing something right. So then we backtracked then and did like his homework on what we did and what we changed to make sure these things happen. And that we would never have known that was happening.
No.
If we didn't have a meeting with Sally every month and go through everything that we need to go through. I think we've got about 7 reports now that she produces to me.
Yeah.
We went from 1 report now to about
7 one monthly report to 7. Yes, I'm pleased I don't do them anymore. But yeah, I mean, good or bad, the numbers, it doesn't matter what they are. You learn from them one way or other.
Yeah, and I'm on we're talking about a business coach, and I've taken I did a talk about numbers.
Yeah.
At a seminar and I told about the story with you and Northern Accountants and about knowing your numbers, and I brought my actual live numbers up.
Yeah.
In the seminar, which I didn't know why I did that.
Yeah.
But I brought my live numbers in, so my forecast. I brought my P&Ls in, and I just showed them all and said how detailed it is. The lines that you need to know. You need to know everything. You know, and to make that decision to move forward, you need to know everything. And I'm in a group now. It's a business club. It's called. We meet every Tuesday, and there's 4 businesses in there, and you just help each other out basically. You know what's gone on for you, what's gone right for you, and help each other out. And the other 3 in that company, when they look at the numbers, it's a rule now that we've brought in. We've got producers P&Ls every single month.
Yeah.
Do you know when you've got producer P&L every single month?
Start to look at it.
Do you know what? It starts to improve as well.
Yeah. Well, you look at the numbers, absolutely.
It starts, if you think, I'm going to go to a meeting.
Yeah.
17 for this month.
And mine's 6%.
Exactly.
So you start to delve in, and then again, it's a transitional thing. These aren't things that happened overnight. This was a story from 2010 to 2015, 16, and it had a huge impact on your personal life in terms of, you know, where you lived and what you were able to do, and subsequent things of your family and those sort of things. So, but it wasn't an overnight success. It was something you committed to. You talked about those 5-year plans, and you know, I've really, when you've talked unpromptedly through this conversation, you've talked about all the key things that we spoke about all those years ago. You've talked about how job costing works. You've talked about your P&L analysis. You've talked about projections. You've talked about budgets. You've talked about variance. You've talked about 5-year plans and measuring yourself again there. So it's, those things have now become ingrained in your business, and that's no surprise to me why you've been as successful.
I don't think it's just ingrained in my business, because I took it into my private life as well. And I mean, it's ingrained in everything that we do. It's, if you need to have a plan, but then you need to have a way of producing everything. That's all. It's all about the numbers, and you've got to go back and you've got to say, right, if I want X, Y, or Z, this is what we've got to do, and these are what we've got to do. Small bits each day, each month, or whatever it is to do, and it's consistency. I'm a massive believer in. You don't have to be. I've never been one of them that's really good at sport. Never been one of them that's really.
Seeing you play football,
Exactly.
and golf.
Exactly.
Darts.
Exactly. and Spain. And no, to be fair, I got that. I got into office early, so I didn't have to pay.
You did go with that pretty quick as well, didn't you?
But I turn up every morning, and it's consistently do the same things day in, day out, and the small things, like just with the margin stuff, make sure that you check every single invoice that comes in.
Yeah.
That the lads are not pinching off you. You know, and it just them small things will change a little thing that we're consistently now. The guys now, they've got to ring the office to order the paint. Do you know how much
I know.
they do, how much that changed? They changed by thousands, because it changed their mindset that best not order that $10 paint.
Yeah.
Because
I've got to sit on my van and I might use on a gubby on set.
Yeah, exactly. Because he's
none of the lads that are working for you now, obviously. No, the lads in the past.
We did have some that signed documents, steel, which they all live in motion, to be fair.
So but again, not checking it, you would never see it. So they're still taking the piss blatantly, and you don't even see it, even though it's written down on the piece of paper. All right. So on the back of the success of the businesses that you've got, you've always been someone who's been very proactive in charities and things like that. What's it enabled you to do?
So, massive to us eyes is the charity side of it. I'm a big believer is if you can do something good for yourself, you can always give back. And we have always been a big believer as a company. We've done it from the beginning, but just on a small scale. I've wanted to give back to the community. We've always done the coal race. So I
remember you doing that.
I've run 8 years on the bounce with a 50-kilogram bag of coal on my back. Stupidly, don't know why I do it. But we've done the dragon boat race. We do events and tournaments for people. But more so lately, we've got involved with a company called Candlelighters. I don't know if you heard.
Yeah, Candlelighters. Yeah,
it's a lot for people that come to the end of their life.
Yeah,
and makes them more comfortable. And we've come together and joined with Candlelighters, and we're decorating and making people's lives just a little bit happier towards the back end.
Their homes.
So we're going in, and they'll ring us up and say, "Oh, we've got this person, this X, Y, and Z, the end of their life, but they wanting to have the bedroom decorated because they're going to spend the rest of their life in this bedroom. So they want it to look really good." And so we're mobilising guys and we're getting them out there. We've done quite a few now. Just going out and just decorating them. We've done like decorating this bedroom. You know, the feedback that you get back off these people, you know, so it's just unbelievable. And it's massive. And it don't cost a great deal, and you're putting it back into people and helping people or whatever it is. We've worked with Martin House and Levi Stars. We've worked with Levi Stars for quite a while now. You know, just trying to give a little bit back to everybody that's in the community. And we're part of our business plan now, our overall business plan now is the charity work. We've got to do more and more charity work. Yeah. So I've kind of forced everybody this time. So they've got to do like Tough Mudders. They've got to do some runs together. And they're all, and every single one of them, Ian's not well. and he's still doing it.
Still doing it.
This is not walking. It's fine. You know,
It becomes a cult thing, doesn't it? And if people believe it and they get behind the company values, it drives it forward on that front, but then it also drives the business forward as well.
yeah. It's unbelievable, and it's throughout the company as well. So I brought on myself to do the work for the Candlelighters. We've done some work for a couple of youth groups, you know, in the area.
You did the sensory thing, didn't you, down at Ossett?
Yeah, and then we've just we've done some work down in Leeds as well. We've done some bits of Back for Decade. The lads are charging us half the wage. Do you know when they're on site? We don't ask them to.
Yeah, but they are. So again, they're brought in.
They're bought into the culture, and they're saying, "No, we know what it's for. We know you're not charging anything. I'll just give you half. Just pay me half my wage."
Yeah.
Can't ask them to.
No, you
should take it all. So yeah, it's a massive thing for us, and we're going to upscale as the year goes on, and as the time goes on, the more.
Sounds like a foundation needs forming, really.
We're gonna build into something. We're getting part of the Great Yorkshire Build. I don't know if you've heard of it.
No.
We're going to be part of the Great Yorkshire Building. It's a lot of special needs schools that have been left and have been left in rack and ruin. And so you've got some really big companies: Henry Boots, GMI, Tri Construction, Wilmar Dixon. You know, and then there's loads of subcontractors underneath, and our suppliers that are getting involved to rebuild these schools for them so it's the Great British Building. So we're getting involved in that this year as well, which is massive for, as you know, my son's there, special needs school.
Yeah.
I walked around the special needs school where the needs doing up.
Yeah.
I had a little cry. Because of the difference that George's school's it's brilliant. It's brilliant for George. They do everything for him. Then to walk around the school, there's not got anything. It was left to rack and ruin. There was a little kid because they had no money. And they've got to go out and have a bit of time out, you know, to a bit of space in themselves. And his quiet space, where he would have safe space, he would have tent, like an enormous tent in the corridor. And I was like, oh man, I just couldn't take it anymore. So we're straight back to office. We bought him a sensory box.
Yeah.
And we had it built up inside in this corridor where he would, and we had the sensory box with the lights in it and everything.
Yeah.
And we just put it in. It's only the plaster in it.
But it makes a difference.
It's just that now little child.
One child, isn't it? So you make a difference to one child.
We would have never been able to do any of this if it wasn't for.
Because all this could come at
the ghost.
Yeah, and if the business is successful enough or profitable enough to cover that cost, then it can't be done, can it? No, you know, because you've got to get those things in place. So no, your charity work has always been admirable, really has. And if you ever need any support, make sure you get in touch with us.
I've got a tough mudder coming up if I do it.
I'm not doing it. That just meant me giving you some money for you to do it. I'm not bloody.
No, right? You don't want to go over 10 miles. Hell.
No. Especially not jumping off obstacles and get electrocuted and going through freezing water. Absolutely not, man. Certainly have money.
Okay.
Rosie Street.
Doesn't seem like it.
Anyway, Gav, it's been a pleasure talking to you again, so thank you very much.
Cheers, buddy.
Thank you very much.